Fellow cardboarders, welcome back. Prodigal Tutor here with another big order of vintage cards as well as a few non-vintage ones, but main focus for today's video will be vintage cards for my set cubes. So without further ado, let's hit into the intro and then into the letters. This is another installment of Quest for Cube, and we shall start with the big one and work our way towards the other ones. I'll put them to the side here so we got a clear view at the cards, and let's open up our first package. Here we are, a big stack of old cards for our Unlimited set cube. And let's see about their condition. Most of them should be lightly played. I will not show the price of the cards if the price I paid was less than €1, which is the case for many of them, but there are some more expensive ones in the order as well, so let's enjoy some nice old vintage cards. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some MtG history here. All of them are unlimited, all of them should be lightly played and better. This one is a little used more, but yeah, still lightly played. When I say lightly played, I mean the European term for lightly played. So we have near mint. Well, we start with mint and then we have near mint. And then we have the excellent condition, good, and then we have lightly played. And in American terms, we have lightly played as the second condition grade here. This one is a little, some indents here. I'm not sure if I can still use it, but we'll see about that. We'll see how it looks in sleeves later on. Raised Dead, very nice. Creepy artwork. This one always creeped me out when I was little. The little skeleton here, grinning meanly, coming back from the dead. Yeah, these are all really nice condition. Paralyze here. Yeah, these are really pretty. We have our first rare for today, the Demonic Attorney, which is an anti-card, and will probably be quite fun in a vintage cube draft environment where you have to play for antis. So at the beginning of your games you always have to exile the top card of your library, and this one forces everyone to exile the top card of the library again, and you play for those cards. So in this case, whoever wins not only 2 but 4 cards. So 1, or in this case 2 from their own deck, they win it back, and 2 from your opponent's decks. And we have Jade Statue here, which I think is a little mistake because I think I ordered a Jade Monolith. We'll see if the Monolith is still in the order, but otherwise I think this one is cheaper, but I still needed one, so we'll have to find an agreement on a price for this one. Feedback Death Grip, very nice. Thank you for that. I ordered a card that I already had, and the person was nice enough to give me another one that I actually needed, so the Death Grip in this case. Evil Presence, Glasses of Urza. This is a fun card. You may look at an opponent's hand. This is a mono artifact, so you can only use it once per turn, so you have to tap it for today's standards. Healing Salve, the White Ancestral Recall, if you want to call it that. At instant speed you gain 3 life or prevent 3 damage. Some Circle of Protections. Yeah, these are in really good condition. Some Wild Growth. Some goop down here. We might have to bring back the Tutor segment, which I only have one on, where I removed some inking from think some cards or one card, I'm not sure. I think one card. But I could also make a video on just generally cleaning goop from cards. Let me know in the comments if you would find that interesting. Frozen Shade. I need 5 of each of the commons, and 1 of each uncommon, and 1 of each rare for the set cube to have it playable for around 10 players. So this one has some white specks, but it's still usable in my eyes. Fear. This is where the effect name comes from today. If a creature has fear, it can't be blocked by creatures that are non-black or non-artifacts, if I recall correctly, at the Minotaur. Last pack here, before we go into the next order of beautiful vintage cards. The next one has a couple of signed ones. So let's look what's that all about. Yeah, so we'll have to talk about the Jade statue. Maybe they still have the Jade statue and can send it back to me, or send it to me generally. But yeah, have to contact the seller so they know they made a little mistake. Other than that, the cards don't look inked at all. So to check inking, you just look for any black lines on the sides of the cards here, and these look all really nice and clean. You can see some yellowing on the sides of the card, but other than that, these are clean and non-inked. If they were inked, some bleeding would have occurred, so some black spots or even lines. Next up, there we are. I got some extra stickers here. These are cute, very cool. And then we have our signed cards for today. The Raised Dead is what we're starting with. Yeah, these look really nice and clean, other than the signature, but that's what I bought them for. So 2 more creepy Raised Dead. And we have a Greater Realm Preservation, signed by Nini Thomas here. This one I already had, but not in signed, and this one was relatively cheap, had a nice deal on the cards, and yeah, if I can find some cheaper copies or nicely priced copies, I'm happy to add them to my set cubes. Then we have 3 more Dandans here, all signed by the artist, Drew Tucker. Now I own even more than 0.01774% of all the Dandans in existence from Arabian Nights. If you haven't checked this video out yet and want to see some Arabian Nights fish, do check out the video in the top corner here. And we have Tranquility signed, really nice and clean cards. I'm very happy with the condition of these. White Ward, yeah, these are nice. Some Merfolk action. Nice and clean cards. Signed by Mark. That's a fun commander card, Kutsu. You enchant a land and it gets destroyed when it gets tapped, and the person who got their land destroyed is allowed to put this enchantment on any other land, and then it goes around. So that's a fun card to include. Some Wall of Wood, signed by Mark. Then we have Lure, signed by Anson. Yeah, these are pretty, real pretty. Signed in red. Yeah, that looks nice and clean. Holy Strength. Heaven's Gate. Another one of these that can change the color of any number of creatures until end of turn. Kind of a weird card. Haven't really found a use for them. If you know a use for changing the color in a set back then, let me know in the comments. Got a Citadel Druid, which is on the reserved list. Also signed. Got a Circle of Protection Blue here. Signed with a Roller Pen, which is kind of sad that they did that back in the day, but Yeah, I don't mind it that much. And lastly, a wooden sphere. Yeah, these I will love to put in here. Thank you very much to the person who sent me those. And then we have another big one here. We have here even more unlimited cards. My collection of unlimited cards is growing nicely. I have several videos where I accumulated unlimited cards. Again, if I paid less than €1, I will not show the price, so you know it's just less than €1 and saves me some editing time. Get a Life Force and a Thicket Basilisk. The Living Artifact is one of the rarest in the set, and a weird one in my eyes. But I guess back in the day this was a useful card. Steel Artifact, really nice card. Some basic lands here, these will go into the general stock of lands that I have for these set cubes. So any set that you play from my vintage set cubes, you get to pick unlimited lands. At least that's the plan, because I still use a couple of revised lands and maybe even some 4th edition lands since I didn't have enough, or still do not have enough. Another fun commander card in my eyes, and a common which costs about $2 I think in from Unlimited. So I needed 5 of these, got the 5 now. And yeah, maybe you want to try this one out for yourself. Wall of Fire. All of these also again should be lightly played and better. This one is quite used on the back. But yeah, I'd still call it lightly played. This one has a minor bend here and some white dent here. White dent. Yeah, but it's okay. That's okay. Second package. Before we hit into the last 2 letters here. Here is the Sorcerer, Timmy, Water Elemental, the Guardian Angel I think I have 5 of now. Karma. Yeah, beautiful cards. A Black Knight. That's a strong one. With First Strike, a 2/2. Back in the day, these were crazy strong. Not that I played there, but this is what you hear or have heard throughout the years, that people build decks around them. These are really minty. I think I ordered them in near mint condition, that's why they're sleeved. Crawworm was another very strong card for the people who couldn't afford Shivan Dragons. These Crawworm is still a 6/4 for 6, which still was enough, but yeah, Shivan Dragon always won in the end, obviously, since it also had flying and could boost itself as well. 2 funny tree folks here, Tranquility, another Plains from Unlimited. Apparently also minty. No, this one is scratched and lightly played. And lastly, a Fire Elemental in minty condition. We have 2 more letters left. One with some more vintage cards, and the other one with some newer modern cards. See about the Brassman. This one was relatively cheap and marked as played. Yeah, this one is played. I will think about it if I want to put it into my set cube, since the whitening is quite severe. We'll see how it looks in sleeves. Maybe it's playable. Cavalry as well, quite used. But this one I think I can use, since the whitening is still on a level that is okay. I still needed a primal clay that is not whitened on the back too much, and this one looks good enough. I still have a played or poor version from a earlier video, and these 3 were relatively cheap compared to current market prices, so I didn't want to miss out on these, but these will not go into the set cube, but go into my collection. Maybe if I have one that is in a worse condition, I will replace them. And then lastly we have this letter, which I received from a very friendly seller. Got Tybalt's Trickery here. We'll see when these get reprinted, since these are getting quite expensive in my opinion. Second one. And we have the Forsaken Monument for Eldrazi's. In foil, really nice. And a Dread Horde General Liliana. Yeah, these are all really nice and minty, and happy to have those. Do consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoy vintage card openings and set cubes, especially vintage ones. So do click the left button to support the channel, and the right one for probably another vintage video. See you there, and have a beautiful day. Bye bye.